I greet you all and gladly welcome you to our today's lesson. The subject is advanced taxation. We've been studying the professional practice in taxation. In our today's lesson, our focus is on cancellation of tax agents' license. And we will, in studying this subtopic, focus on Kenya. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to give reasons for cancellation of tax agents' license in Kenya, number one. Number two, you should be able to outline the process of cancellation of tax agents' license in Kenya. Then number three, we will study, and you should be able by the end of this lesson to highlight ways in which a tax agent can minimize the risk of cancellation of his or her license. So those are three areas we're going to study. Cancellation of tax agents' license. Now, candidates here in Kenya, the cancellation of tax agents' license is a serious matter that can have significant consequences for the tax agent's professional career and reputation. And the Kenya Revenue Authority is responsible for issuing and revoking tax agent licenses. All right? So the first thing we are going to do is to highlight reasons for cancellation of tax agents' licenses. Reasons for cancellation. What are the reasons that may give rise to cancellation of tax agents' licenses in Kenya? The reasons include: one, failure to comply with KRA requirements. Failure to comply with Kenya Revenue Authority's requirements. Tax agents must adhere to KRA rules and regulations, including providing accurate and timely tax advice, preparing accurate tax returns, maintaining confidentiality, and failure to comply with these requirements can lead to license cancellation. 2, professional misconduct. Professional misconduct. Tax agents are expected to conduct themselves with professionalism and integrity, and that includes avoiding conflict of interest, maintaining objectivity, maintaining independence, and also acting honestly in all dealings with the clients and the Kenya Revenue Authority. So engaging in professional misconduct can be grounds for license cancellation. The third reason why tax agent's license may be cancelled by the Kenya Revenue Authority is negligence or incompetence. Negligence or incompetence. Tax agents have a duty to exercise due diligence. In our last lesson, we looked at some of the obligations or the duties that tax agents owe their clients and the Kenya Revenue Authority. So negligence or incompetence can be ground for cancellation of tax agent's certificate. If a tax agent is negligent or incompetent, that can cause financial loss to their clients or lead to non-compliance with tax laws, and the Kenya Revenue Authority may revoke their licenses. Negligence and incompetence can lead to cancellation of tax agent certificate. Then candidates, we can now look at the process of cancellation. Where the Tax Revenue Authority decides that a tax agent's license ought to be cancelled, what's the process? There is a specific process for cancelling a tax agent's license. And the first step is to issue what we call notice of show case. Issuing of notice of show cause. Issuing of notice of show cause. Now, the Kenya Revenue Authority will issue a notice of show cause to the tax agent outlining the reasons for the proposed license cancellation. And in issuing this notice, the Revenue Authority provides an opportunity for the tax agent to respond or to show cause why the license should not be cancelled. 2, consideration of tax agent's response. So the tax agent is given a notice to show cause. Within the notice, there are reasons why the Revenue Authority thinks that the license ought to be cancelled, with an opportunity for the tax agent to respond. The second step is for KRA to receive the response and consider the response of the agent. The KRA will consider the tax agent's response to the notice of show cause and may conduct further investigations or hearings if necessary. After that, then a decision is made. Decision on license cancellation is made. Decision on license cancellation. A notice is issued to the tax agent. The tax agent responds, and then a decision on license cancellation is made based on the available evidence and the taxpayers' tax agent's response. Then KRA will make a decision on whether to cancel the agent's certificate or not. So it's a straightforward process. All right? But what are the consequences of cancellation? In case the certificate or license is cancelled, what are the consequences? Consequences of cancellation. What are the consequences of cancellation? Now, cancellation of a taxpayer's license has several adverse consequences, including loss of professional standing. Number 1, loss of professional standing. Loss of professional standing. cancellation of a taxpayer's tax agent's license has adverse consequences. The tax agent will, I'm talking about professional standing, loss of professional standing. Tax agents with cancelled licenses are not permitted to represent clients before the KRA or provide tax services. Loss of professional standing. That's the consequence of cancellation of a tax agent's license. The reputation of the tax agent is also affected. Damage to reputation. Damage to reputation. Cancellation of a license can significantly damage a tax agent's professional reputation and make it difficult to find employment in the tax field. May also lead to financial penalties. Financial penalties. Cancellation of a tax agent's license can lead to financial penalties. In some cases, tax agents may also face financial penalties in addition to license cancellation. So these are the consequences, 3 consequences. But before we close the lesson, we need to consider ways in which the tax agent can minimize the risk of license cancellation. Minimization of risk of license cancellation. A tax agent can minimize the risk of license cancellation by 1. Familiarizing with KRA's requirements. 1. Familiarize with KRA requirements and regulations. As they say, ignorance is no defense. To avoid risk of cancellation of a tax agent license, then the tax agent should thoroughly understand the KRA's expectations for their conduct and work. Maintain accurate records. Maintaining of accurate records and documentation. Tax agents should keep detailed records of their work, including client files, tax return preparation documents, and also correspondence with the Kenya Revenue Authority. Seek guidance. Seek guidance when needed. No one has monopoly to all knowledge. You cannot know everything in this world. In case you come across a situation that you are not sure about, or you have a complex tax matter or a matter with complexity, then you can seek guidance from experts, from colleagues. Tax agents should not hesitate to seek guidance from experienced colleagues or professional organizations if they have questions or concerns about tax practice. Adhere to ethical standards. Adhere to ethical standards. To ethical standards. Adhere to ethical standards. Tax agents should always act with integrity and professionalism, upholding the highest ethical standards in their dealings with clients, colleagues, and the Revenue Authority. And candidates, by adhering to these principles and by maintaining high standards of professionalism, tax agents can minimize the risk of license cancellation and protect their reputation as well as their livelihoods. So that marks the end of today's lesson, where we studied cancellation of tax agents. We've highlighted reasons for cancellation. We say that cancellation can only be done by the Kenya Revenue Authority here in Kenya. We've outlined the process of cancellation of tax agents' license. We've stated 3 consequences of cancellation and 4 ways in which tax agents can minimize the risk of license cancellation. In closing the lesson, I'll read to you today's revision questions. Number 1, what procedures or criteria govern the appointment of tax agents by clients? How do tax agents establish and maintain professional relationship with their clients? All right, that one is a question on tax agents, appointment, obligations, and professional liability. Today's questions for cancellation of tax agents. Number 1, what are the primary reasons or grounds that may lead to the cancellation of a tax agent's license? How do regulatory bodies assess and decide upon license cancellations? Number 2, what is the process involved in the cancellation of tax agent's license? Can tax agents appeal such decisions, and what measures can they take to address or challenge license cancellation? Number 3, how does the cancellation of tax agents' license impact their practice and their existing clients? What steps can affected tax agents take to mitigate the consequences? 4, is there a possibility for reinstatement of a cancelled tax agent license? What steps or conditions must taxpayers fulfill to regain their license or rehabilitate their professional standing? Thank you for attending the lesson. I'll meet you in our next session. We'll continue to share knowledge as far as professional practice in taxation is concerned. Bye-bye.